I'm Mike.
Jason.
Welcome to Snake Envy. We're going to do our question of the day. We're going to flip this question around a little bit. Usually when we talk about beginners, we're talking about what snakes we recommend for them. Today we're going to ask, what snake would you not recommend to a beginner? What snake makes you cringe when a buddy of yours says, I really want one?
Well, mine's not one that makes you cringe because I think they're awesome. I just think they're problematic, and maybe it's because we as hobbyists haven't figured out how to keep them. I'm going to say green rat snakes, the North American green rats, just because I know some people's figured them out a little bit, but they are tough, and you are going to probably end up learning how to medicate your snake if you own one of those things eventually, or lose it pretty early on.
And the big one, if I'm not mistaken, is they like things very cool.
From what I understand, they live deep in the ground in limestone and where it's cool. So, I mean, it is Arizona, it's southern Arizona, it's Mexico, right. It's hot places, but
deep underground.
Yeah. Maybe we just don't know enough about them to properly care for them.
Is there maybe a little more common one that you don't typically recommend for beginners?
Ball python. Just kidding.
Well, we did a whole video on that.
Right.
We don't want to always pick on the balls, but neither one of us really recommend those. But
another one similar, but I've had very limited experience, so I had some western fox snakes, which I think are so awesome. They remind me of a pit cross rat type. They're different.
Yeah.
They're just very different. The ones I had, I don't know if they were captive horn born from wild caught, but they would just sit there and pace just swim against the face of the tub, and it's just sad to watch. I just couldn't watch that day in, day out. They didn't like being caged.
Interesting.
So, I mean, that's a quick response for me, but
I'm going to answer this question a little more broadly. I'm going to say any snake with heat pits, and that would pretty much be all the boas and pythons. I'm not aware of any other pet trade snakes that have heat pits. There might be some Southeast Asian snakes somewhere maybe that does, but that would basically be all boas and pythons. And just like you said, I'm not knocking them in general. I'm just saying I don't think they're for beginners. And I own a green tree python, and I would not recommend one to a beginner. The main reason is it's really twofold. My green tree python, just to use him as an example, when he was young, he's going on 12 years old now, so this isn't an issue anymore. But when he was young, if his prey was not warmed, he wouldn't even look at it. And his heat pits were really the primary sense that he was using to eat. Now he's outgrown that. Now visually and by smell, he recognizes everything. But it makes it more likely that you're going to have a food response bite. And boas and pythons both, they don't all have as long a teeth as green trees, but they all have longer teeth than most of the colubrids we're keeping. So not only is there a likelihood you're going to get bitten, but there's a likelihood it's going to be a little more dramatic than it would be with some of the other snakes like corns and kings. And those are the kind of things that kind of scare a beginner off. Ball pythons, of course, are notorious for their fasting, and boas and pythons in general, because they have a slower metabolism. Sometimes they want to eat every 2 weeks instead of one, or they want to eat every month, which is not a big deal. But if you're a beginner and all your friends are talking about feeding their king snake every week, and you've got a boa that wants to eat every other, it just adds to confusion. I just think in general it adds layers of complication that beginners don't need. So for me, it would be heat pits in general. Please comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if we got it wrong. And we look forward to your comments. Thank you.
Thanks.